Hello there, this is Cookies. I've got M.A. Naba here. We can see the nature gems that we bought from Abyssia. So I think that we sent them 1100 gold. So I think it worked out to around 11 gold per. I can move decimals correctly. We did some carrion reanimation. Got a second Merid. Did a 3 red seconds. Did a Raven Feast, which turned 3 air gems into 10 death gems. And we've got a couple of fights here. So first up is Tunnels of the Lost. Alright, so we're trying this again. We've got Khalik here. I did not rename this guy. Probably should have. It's a thug is here. He's missing his arm, so he's lost his Carmine Cleaver still. And, oh, we've given this guy a water bottle to deal with the cavemen. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and do Personal Mist form. Phoenix Pyre. And I've got him on 2 times attack scripts, and I'm hoping that'll get him in range. He does end up in some combat here. Now these guys are gonna kind of struggle to hit him. He's got 13 defense. Looks like he killed both of them. So he's got a Bloodthorn and a Heartfinder. So he did, I think, gain some hit points from that. Still has some Blood Slaves. Water Elemental is still moving up. This guy has done Blessing and Holy Avenger. He's still moving up, so. Alright, and we've got our Infernal Prison script, which was the last thing on our 5-piece script. And instead of doing Infernal Prison, he does Blindness. So we prepared it, and then cast Blindness, which is not what I wanted. It's a Thug did not fall for it. Now we do Infernal Prison. And go ahead and send him away. Then Holy Avenger kills a Blood Slave. So we've gotten rid of one of the thugs, or at least sent him somewhere else. And then we can see Vanarus doing a Magic Phase attack on Abyssia. Ooh, we've got It's a Monolith. So the god is showing up. If I can find it. Got just a little bit of Abyssian PD. Oh, here we go. Blending in with all the other rocks. All right, so he's got. Okay, so this is a project self. So it's a projection. 1 hit point. He's got good paths for it. So you can project self and then do Gifts from Heaven, which I really like. If you watched Moo's Machaka series, you would have seen that go to some pretty good use in one of his wars. Got some Enslaved Mind spam. There we go. Stole the commander. Now he doesn't get to keep that commander because it was PD. So, but he does clear the PD for the army, so that should hide his army movement onto the fort. And then otherwise, it's a pretty quiet turn this turn. I didn't really find any sights. Blood hunting was kind of light. Oh, we did corrupt 2 mages, so we'll check that out. So we got an Adept of the Iron Order. He came with a Dwarven Hammer, so that was really nice. And then we got an Ulm Sage, which is also really nice because that's a Water 2 mage. I don't have a lot of those. Alright. In terms of fighting, first up we have Pyrene and Ulm fighting in Helbathria. So we've got what looks like a Pyrene raiding force, 2 Sorginas. They have these things for the blood spell range. So, and they've got blood thorns, probably so they can do a bunch of infernal prison out at distance, and then some fiends of darkness and imps for kind of like a chaff screen. And over here we have a bunch of great targets for infernal prison. We have this tart who's fire 5 with rainbow armor and some other gear and some fire gems, 178 HP. We have this guy who's a big old thug with a horror helmet and a holy scourge for fighting demons. And he's got some pretty good buff paths. So he's got glamour, earth, and water. This guy is now I really like these guys for doing big earth buffs. So hopefully he's doing something like Steel Slice Warriors, or maybe a protection spell like Marble Army. He's also equipped as a thug though. He's got his built-in enchanted sword. He's got a new shield that's been given to him, and pretty basic but good kit. So he's got a dragon helmet for a little bit of fire resist. It's also just a good helmet, 22 protection. He's got an arm, and with his national paths, I believe he forges this for 1 gem. He also got an armor of knights, similar reasoning, just decent armor, nerfed from Dominions 5, but not so bad it wouldn't be useful, especially on a Tartarian. And he's got a girdle of might for some reinvigoration, and a amulet of anti-magic to get his MR into the 20s, so he's a lot safer on that front. So all in all, really cool tart. I really like these ones. Also, he's got this one, who's also equipped as a thug with fire, earth, and astral pathing. Got a firebrand and a bunch of other, I think, national forging paths. I forget if he gets astral for it, but you really do want the amulet of anti-magic to be able to roll out these tarts. You want to get their MR into the 20s. And then he's got this tart, who is Air 3, Death 4, also amulet of anti-magic, and this one looks like it's geared for Winds of Death. So that'd be pretty good for him to do, and he's got a generic necromancer to heal afflictions. So really cool party. Let's go ahead and see how we do. So first up, we have some Phoenix Pyre, summon Earth Power, Invulnerability, Quicken Self. A little bit of a chaff screen. Soul Vortex, I don't know about with this positioning because you're going to feed off of your Necromancer. We do see Firestorm. Oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. We see 2 Infernal Prisons come out. So that takes I think the Winds of Death caster and one of the thugs. So they do a pretty long range here. Those blood boosters helping out with that. Now they have lost their blood slaves, probably due to the firestorm. So the Sorgina should be routing soon. Yep. Alright, so let's see what happened. Both Sorgina died, so you just kill 2 of them, but loses 2 tarts to the Inferno, his Winds of Death caster and his Holy Scourge caster. Also probably a good Quickening caster. And yeah, and also loses his Necromancer to the Soul Vortex. But Does take a fight off of Pyrene. Kills 2 Sorgina. That's over 500 gold worth of mages. And only loses a Necromancer, at least permanently. We'll have to see where the charts land. And then we get raided by Agartha. So it's a different thug. Who's rolling on him. He is blind, but he's got Spirit Sight, so I'm not sure if it really affects him. Because, yeah, he has 3 attack skill. Oh, but this gives +6 attack, so maybe it does. Maybe he'd be at like 18 attack. I think you need the blind sight to see through that, so I probably misstated that in the last episode. Alright, but we just have a little pack of Janguard, so they're not going to have a great time versus this thug. They just won't be able to hurt him, because he's got 34 protection and regen. So the only question here is how many Janguard do we lose? No, they'll get the odd lucky hit, but it's not going to be enough to outdo his regen. And Earth Grip isn't going to help, so. Now a lot of the attacks are distracted by these illusions. And the way they've spawned, they might actually make it hard to route. Yep, so we finally route. Good time to leave, guys. But those ones are trapped. So they'll end up covering while the other guys run away. So we lose that. We lose 11 Janguard. Ooh. And then we lose the rest of the party retreating. So we retreat into enemy territory. All right, we do get some gems. And demon worship. Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. The sun grows dim, so now we're fighting in darkness, which is okay. And one of our scouts gets found out. Okay, so otherwise, not a heck of a lot happening this turn. So we got our reinforcements on Mountains of Mist. Now we can see that he's put up iron walls, which means that the walls are undamaged and more time and men will be required to break them down. So we got to kind of start all over again. We went from severely damaged to not damaged at all. So we're going to start sending more stuff in. So we've got this party heading out from Scrub Point, more Janguard, more Adites, more Giants. We have some Gnome Mages heading in. They're here to do Steel Slice Warriors. We have some more Shaitan heading in. So they've got things like Gate Cleavers. What is this called? Flesh Eaters. I keep wanting to call that an Axe of Hate. I've done that before talking to people too. We're also making a Skull of Fire because we've empowered this lady in Death so that we can do that. It's just long past time. We're making another Gate Cleaver. We're just going to keep making Gate Cleavers until we cleave down these walls. We're also going to send in our Pretender to help out. So he'll be a Will of the Fates, Light of the Northern Starcaster. That would make all of our Mukra Astral 3, which would be really nice. We're going to go ahead and make a Ring of Water Breathing for a potential thug to go underwater and clear that. Well, I have a feeling I'm just going to send most of my thugs to the front lines. We are doing 2 Raven Feasts this turn, making an Armor of Twisting Thorns and a Bloodthorn. And yeah, making some more Bloodthorns, trying to get this blood hunting more efficient. We've started hunting our primary spots now. We're still hiding everything with glamour items. we are going to get our first Ivy King with all these nature gems. That'll be nice. A high HP nature mage is very nice. And I think that's most of it. You can see this guy we stole. He's a really nice mage for us. He's got the cross paths to make coins of meteoritic iron, which we already had those cross paths, but you know, it's still nice to have them on a mage that isn't our pretender or needing boosters. He's also got some air, so we could eventually put him in a communion and he can do gifts from heaven, or he can do big air buffs if needed. So that's pretty nice. And I think that's a lot of it. Yeah, we're sneaking in a lot of shade in this turn. Oh, and we're flying in some Call of the Winds. This is to provide just like some turn 1 attack chaff to go just ahead of the Phoenix Pyre Archdevil. So a little bit of distraction chaff. If somebody tries to do like a gym bait, or if he tries to, I don't know, just send like a small battlefield wipeout. So I think that's most of what we're focusing on for this turn, just reinforcing that siege. We know we're in for the long haul now. Something I did consider was potentially walking past his army and trying to dive into the cave and take stuff while it was poorly defended. But I think I've got his army trapped, and I've got all these Shaitan that I want to bring in, so I think I'm going to try to just steal as many mages as possible and ruin the leadership in this army, and then kill the statues. So I think that's what I'm going to take advantage of during this siege. So it can be a downside to try and iron walls versus Nabah. So I want to punish that. And then we're continuing to do some site searching and continuing to build up patrol chaff for these 4 primary hunting provinces. In terms of research, we've got 5 8s. The only things we're missing 8s in are construction and thaumaturgy. And we are almost, and this is a screw up on my part, I should have found some more research, but we're going to be about 84 points short of getting Infernal Tempest. So that is a big screw up when you miss your first 9 by 85 research. And it's probably something we could have managed. There's a lot of stuff moving around that maybe could have waited a turn, stuff like that. So, but other than that, I think that's a lot of it. In terms of the raiding game, we've got these guys coming out from under the Knights. They're going to raid Deep or Mile Deep. And we lost our raiding party. That's why they were lost retreating. There were no retreat routes. We did take this retreat route, but he's going to go ahead and sneak back to a lab so we can jump him out again on a Cloud Trapeze. And I think that's most of it. We can see the monolith projection jumping on this to cover for the main army so it doesn't get gem baited, and it can just casually move on to the fort without Abyssia being able to see his scripting. And we can see here that Asphodel has been taken. Man is sitting on Shadowglade. It's cracked. So it looks like Asphodel and Man have had their big showdown, and it looks like Man has won that. And so now Man is pressing the attack to try and finish off Asphodel. So we've got that going for us, and we're going to keep on researching. And yeah, I think that's it for this one. So I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. suppose I could look at recruitment really quick. Yeah, nothing crazy. I think it's mostly Malika. We have 2 Malika in the queue. And a Microbe. So, yeah, see you next time.